Hello, 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 hello. We are back. These are back. The CD collection videos. I'm Atticus. We are back. And I'm giving you my 2023 CD collection update. So last year I filmed a bunch of videos that were like my entire CD collection. So now that the year's over, I figured it'd be a good time to run you through the CDs I've got since I made those videos. Of course, we're doing this in alphabetical order. And we are starting off with Bjork. Post. I haven't listened to much Bjork. I've definitely known her logo, which is right here. That thing is pretty iconic. It's definitely going to take a couple more listens for me to really form an opinion on it. So I don't really have a favorite song yet. Brockhampton, The Family. If you are fans of Brockhampton, you know they put out 2 albums and this was meant to be their final effort as a band. And honestly, I found this to be the more interesting of the 2. And with that, probably my favorite of the 2. I didn't actually buy this though. My friend Ian bought it and he gave it to me for Christmas because he wasn't a huge fan and he knew I was more interested in it than he was. So yeah, I'm happy to have this. Favorite song on here though is probably The Family. Next up we have Does You Inspire You by Chairlift. I got this CD because I know Caroline Polachek was a member of this band a long time ago and I figured I'd give it a shot. I had heard 1 or 2 songs when I was at work. It's definitely not as good as her newer solo work though, I will say. No favorite song. Next up we have the album Deja Vu by Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. One of my roommates I live with now really liked this album and told me that it was sick and I believed them and it is pretty good. I haven't listened to it that much. I'm always looking for more older albums because I don't have that many older albums. Very folksy, rock, country-ish, which is a genre that I have been getting into recently. As of right now though, no favorite song. Next up we have Brown Sugar by D'Angelo. I kind of forget where I got this CD, but I got it during the time I was filming the whole original series. Again, this is another album that I knew was legendary and that's why I got it. I felt like I needed to give it a shot. I feel bad saying this again, but no favorite song just because I don't really remember which ones are which, but like it is good. Next we have a funny one, Gavin DeGraw, Chariot. I remember hearing Gavin DeGraw on the radio a lot when I was younger, and he actually does have some songs that grew on me a lot since then. This album has the title track Chariot and I Don't Wanna Be, which are both songs I like now. Hazel English, Just Give In / Never Going Home. Hazel English is like an indie pop singer-songwriter girl who I think is pretty cool. I learned about her from the song Combat, which is not on this project. This is like 2 EPs put together in one. That's why one side is this one and one side is this one. This is some of her first work and I think it's pretty good. I think she's grown since this, but also like I'm just happy to have a Hazel English CD because I don't see them very much at all. My favorite song is the first song on the CD. I don't remember what it's called. Next up, we have Benjamin Francis Leftwich, Last Smoke Before the Snowstorm. My girlfriend got this for me a while ago. I need to listen to it again. I don't have a favorite song, but it was chill. It was cool. Next up, we have Goldfrapp, Felt Mountain. This album caught my eye because of the album cover. I feel like I've seen it before. I didn't remember specifically where, but I knew I had seen it somewhere. It's definitely odd. It has that beginning sample from Freestyle 4. Definitely an eerie album. I don't have a favorite song, but it's cool. Next up, we have a promotional advance copy of Ellie Goulding's Lights. I've never been a huge fan of Ellie Goulding, but I saw this and I thought it was pretty cool because it was like a little tiny copy that was given out before the album came out. I figured this would be fun to have, even though I'm not a huge fan. I do think the song Lights is sick. I also just think it's fun to have old pop albums that I remember from the radio. Next up, we have J Dilla Donuts. I bought this in Maine last month when I was at home. It was only $10 for a brand new copy at Bull Moose, which I thought was a really good deal. And I've always known that J Dilla was a legendary producer and like sampler, and it's really good. I like Waves. Obviously, I've heard that one before. And then there's a few other songs that I remember being sick. There's 31 tracks on here. I don't remember them name for name. Next up, we have Young Lean Stardust. I did an unboxing video for this CD, so you should go watch that if you're interested. I went to see Young Lean, and this CD was exclusively available on his Stardust tour, so I had to grab it. I actually do have a favorite song for this one, though, and it is Lips with Skrillex. Next up, we have Sinéad Lohan, No Mermaid. This album has kind of a funny story to me. My friend Ian and I found this a long time ago, but it was really scratched up. We didn't hear a lot of the songs in full, but from what we heard, we thought it was pretty good. Eventually in Philadelphia, I found another copy of this and gave it to him. And then when I was home last month, I found another copy at a Goodwill for myself. Very cool late 90s pop alternative music. I remember the first song catching our ear a lot when we first heard this, so first song is probably my favorite. Next, we have Moby, Move. This is a small little EP that I found at Philadelphia Record Exchange not long ago. It looks really sick, and I've liked Moby music before, but to be honest, I didn't really like this that much. Maybe I gotta give it another shot, but I don't know. First listen I was not that impressed, so I don't really have a favorite song. Next up, we have Mount Kimbie, Die Cuts / City Planning. I have been dying to get this album on wanted CD for a while. It's probably my favorite album of 2022. Mount Kimbie is an electronic duo, but they each made an album for this, hence why there are 2 covers. And inside there are like 2 little CD packages. It's a really cool box in general. Favorite song overall is hard because there's 2 full albums on here, but I'm going with DVD with Choker, probably one of my favorite songs of the year. Next up we have Quickly Quickly, the long and short of it. I first learned about Quickly Quickly when he was making like lo-fi beats and stuff, but he proceeded to put out a full album with vocals and stuff, and it's honestly pretty good. I found it for cheap at Long in the Tooth in Philadelphia. Favorite song is probably She. Next we have another classic, Automatic for the People by R.E.M. R.E.M. has literally so much music, and I've found that out recently. It's definitely one of their most popular, but it has great songs. Favorite one on here is probably Man on the Moon. That's like my favorite R.E.M. song, I think. Next up, we have Sampha, Process. I also did an unboxing for this recently. I got this for Christmas from my parents, and this is an album I've loved since it came out back in like 2017, I think. Sampha, in my opinion, is one of the best vocalists of the recent times. He's just got such a cool voice, and this album has like no skips at all. Favorite one on here gotta be either Plastic or I'm saying Plastic is my favorite. Next we have Sick by Earl Sweatshirt. My girlfriend got this for me for Christmas, and I was literally so hyped. I knew this came out on CD a while ago, but I had kind of given up hope on having it because I didn't know if it was available anymore. Turns out she had got it, and like I'm just so hyped to have this because this is another one of the best albums of 2022, I think. I also now have 3 Earl Sweatshirt albums, which is sick. He's definitely one of my favorite rappers. My favorite song on here is probably Fire in the Hole or Titanic or Lie or 2010, I don't know. And finally we have Little World by Zack Villere. I also did an unboxing for this. If you are interested, go check that out. I remember the first time I heard about Zack Villere, I was at a track meet and I was looking at some Snapchat story by some big like brand. The song I heard on there was Cool, and I think maybe Next. That started it all, and from then on I've been a huge fan of him. He's made some amazing songs. I think his second album, Cardboard City, is even better than this one, but he recently released this on CD because it's a 5-year anniversary. This album is even better on re-listen. My favorite song on here is Next. That song is absolutely legendary. I've been trying to figure out what else to do with this channel. I'm not really sure yet. It's definitely going to be music related and probably some CD related stuff. I'll continue with the unboxings and stuff because sometimes those blow up. And yeah, Happy New Year. I will see you again in 2023 sometime soon. Peace.